It is thinking. My internet's been slow today, so
Yeah. Get a bubble on my table.
all right. There we are. We are live on Facebook. All
Hello.
right. So welcome everybody. Everybody's out there in Facebook land and here on Zoom with us. I was just expressing to everybody that there is a time change in Europe, and I'm not sure what that means for this live. People may still be jumping on. And I just welcome everybody and thank you so much for being here as we launch The Other Side of Fear. This book has been for me in the making since 2019, and then in the making for the Be the Spark movement since last year. No, 2023 is when we started talking about it. So there's 22 authors from 5 countries, which I think is pretty darn good. Um, and they tell their story of a challenge in their life that is around fear and how they have faced it and dealt with it and come out on the other side. So Terry is one of the authors, and her piece is about acrophobia. So Terry, do you want to tell us a little bit about your journey in writing this?
Yeah. So my journey in first finding out was when you invited me to a call and then you said something about a book and I went, "Oh, I'm in the middle of writing my book, which has been 20 years in coming." And I thought, "Sure, I have time for another one." As soon as you said The Other Side of Fear, I thought, "Oh, I've got a story." And my story starts when I was 3 years old, where I had what I think could have been a reaction to a past life. I don't talk about that in the book because it's not part of that journey, but I we were at somewhere in Arkansas, Missouri, and there was a ranger tower, and we were going up those crisscross things up to, I don't know, 150 feet up, something like that. And I let out a curdling scream. I don't remember any of this, obviously. Um, I'm 3 years old, but my mother talked about it a lot. And all I do remember was at one time we were sitting on this bench and she asked me if I'm okay. And we talked about this as a kid. So what I found out as I started writing this book is I would thought I was just writing about my fear of heights and how I've dealt with this. But as I started writing it, it became pretty obvious that those techniques and those tools that I use are instinctively, intuitively used for any type of fear I have.
Hey,
So
Ashley.
the process of exploring that and how that comes out in life.
Yeah, and then in Terry's book that she has coming out probably in the spring, um, you weave your way through that story within that book too. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, beautifully done. Um, I think there's 6 or 7 authors in this book that this is their first writing published, and Ashley is one of them. And Ashley has 2 pieces in the book. If Ashley wants to like briefly share her thoughts, she's also at work, so
Hi, yeah, my name is Ashley Echevarria. This is my first published anything out there in the world. So that's really exciting for me. I'm happy that I'm very grateful that Carrie invited me to do that. We share a lot of the same heart for a lot of things. So thank you, Carrie. But yeah, I wrote 2 pieces. One is about little girl fear, and another one is about a very adult fear, just living life and having to push through and keep going through hard times to reach the other side of a goal that not only benefited me, but my family and also many other therapists. I'm a massage therapist by trade, worked in healthcare for 17 years before that. So I know how to face that fear and push through. And it was a great opportunity to be able to share that with other people. I have the conversation with a lot of other therapists and nurses at times when they are struggling in the midst of trying to navigate work and school and life and all the things. But then when tragedy hits multiple times in the midst of it, it can be very unsettling. So, in sharing my story with people, I'm hoping that that can inspire people to keep going.
Yeah. I think that that's a lot of what this book is just helping people recognize that they have fear. Because so many people, like I have talked to so many people and had so much feedback about, I'm not scared of anything, right? And yeah, we all have a fear that lies just under our skin. And when we recognize that and we can see how it's affecting our lives. So that's a big thing. That's how I started my journey through fear is that it kind of landed in my lap at a workshop. And I was listening to this lady. Hey, Tony, glad you are here. I was listening to this lady tell a story, and I write about this in the beginning of the book. Um, and it wasn't about fear, but it oozed fear. And literally, I mean, Neil's like, when she came home that night, it just absolutely lit a fire in me because I was able to, like, it just awakened me to the fact that we all live in fear and that it's all by design in a lot of ways. Um, some of those things, some of those like natural fears are innate. Like I'm scared of heights too. Um, is our house on fire? No, the house is not on fire. I'm burning incense.
Yeah, just checking. Sorry, go ahead.
Got a fear of yours, Neil?
Yeah, it is.
Gary's lit something else.
But
um,
it's the absence, or courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is often the pursuing of our intentions in spite of the fear, or feeling the fear, working with it.
yeah. And, and I think Paul, who I will be on the evening call, um, he talks about what did he say this morning on his, oh, my brain just like, it's like asking fear what it's meant to teach us.
Ooh.
Yeah. And that's one way to work through it. So, yeah. So all that started this journey about helping people to see where they live in fear and they don't even realize it. So, Melissa, would you like to share with us a fear that you have or?
I think you know me pretty well. I don't have a lot of fears, I'll be honest. Um, I've been through some fears in the past probably, and just helps me get to where I am now. I don't know. I think I'm not very fearful. I just live in the knowing that all I can do is show up every day, and I trust myself, and I just I think fear, I don't know. I've never really aligned with that word. I think it helps keep us in check. Probably helps me from jumping off the cliff in the photo here without thinking about it. I think
Uh-oh, I think we lost
it helps
connection.
me discern there, you know, and it just makes me pause maybe to like look at the route, and then I'm a jumper, so then I take a good breath and trust. So I think maybe the path that control me. I've never been controlled by much, so I think it's just more of like a checking element
Yeah, yeah,
for
that kind
me.
of thing.
Yeah, like I'm not afraid of things.
Yeah,
When I hear people say I'm afraid of like spiders or heights, or like, I'm not afraid of there's not anything I'm afraid of that way, physically or yeah, so I think maybe it's just a mechanism not to just be too rash for me and take a moment and pause, but then go for it anyway. I don't know.
well,
Yeah.
if I can play off of that, the
Mhm.
piece that I wrote that was personal, because I write a lot that's more societal, because there's 9 pieces that I wrote in this book, and a lot of it's societal. But the piece I wrote personally was actually writing to discover what I was afraid of.
Mm.
Um, because I'm not afraid of much. I mean, heights, I'm not fond of. I faced that on a hot air balloon ride. Um, so I'm not afraid of much, but when I started writing, of course, this is why I like journal, everybody journal, I realized that I fear being vulnerable to women
Mm.
that are going to betray me. And that's something that I'm working on. And I'm going to write a book about that too. So you'll
Mm.
be hearing about that. So Neil, how about you? You want to share anything? Besides how supportive Neil's been being crazy writing this book and
No,
putting
no,
it together.
no. I mean, I think I think as far as like what's my fear or what fear says to me, is that what we're asking?
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I mean, I think it's for me personally a lot to do with acceptance from my father is a biggie. So I think that's that grows into all relationships, but that was the big one for me, and it's culminated by various things. Him not being around as I was younger, and divorce, and feeling abandoned, and things like that. So it's kind of made me who I am. But facing those fears and talking about them, and even talking to him about, has really helped me work with that. I think it's something that I'll probably always deal with in one form or another. But like what you guys did in the book, writing it out, talking about it, which I hope will inspire other people to talk about their fears and deal with or try to deal with them and find people to talk to them, talk about with them. Um, so oh, that's kind of my thing from a personal level, if
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I have very much gratitude for Neil and his technological assistance and helping me with the cover and seeing me go, "Wah," when I couldn't figure something out or when something didn't quite go the same way. So much gratitude. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I'm here for you, and I think it's great what you're all doing and putting yourself out there. It's not easy. It's not easy for people to do that. So it's very inspirational. It really is for me and a lot of people, I'm sure.
Mm. Absolutely.
Thank you. How about you, Tony? Are you able to share? Okay. Tony's in a place she can't talk. She's just here for moral support and so greatly appreciate that too. Um, it's just there are no words for feeling the love and support from you guys. Not only to help me achieve this dream of writing this book because I think it's very powerful, but just the moral support and the love that you give me on a daily basis. So that's there's no words.
You're pretty easy to love.
Some people would probably disagree with that, but no words from you, Neil. Oh, so I did put in the chat. I don't know if people can see it on like a live Facebook or anything, but this chat, if can y'all see the chat? Y'all have to open it yourself, I think. But
Yeah.
in the chat, I did put in the Kindle version link and the paperback link to the Amazon pages. And I am still working on getting those out to say um, Barnes and Noble and other things. So that's going to be a extended um, journey to get that out to everybody. So,
I'm not seeing it in the chat. I'm just seeing what I typed earlier. So
oh,
Mhm.
you didn't
maybe
see
it's
what
just
I've
me.
already put in there?
I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
I only saw Neil's comment too.
All right. Maybe it was because, okay. So here is the Kindle version. I thought if I just put it in there.
There he is.
Yeah, I see that.
Okay, that's the Kindle version. And then here is the paperback. And anybody in the local area or local to anybody who's written, I'm sure we will all be just over the moon to sign it for you. Or if you want me to order a copy and you purchase it directly from me, that is always an option too. So the other side of fear, guys, there's joy, there's freedom, there's love, there's peace on the other side of fear. And it's all a choice. It's all a decision to work through whatever fear that you have, whether it's a tiny fear or a massive fear that holds you back. And let me see, I randomly turned to a page in the Bible yesterday, and I read Samuel 15:24, and y'all can look that up if you want to. But Saul didn't do what God said because he was more afraid of the people than what God had told him to do. And because of that, he didn't. This is how I interpreted. Saul moved in fear of people, of I can't say the word, Amalek, maybe. Um, and because he moved in fear of people, he was blocked from his purpose that God had laid out before him. So he feared the people and didn't keep his faith in the Lord. And to me, I mean, that was a total random piece that I just opened the Bible to. And this is what I believe too, is that when we live in fear or any of these low vibrational emotions, it actually blocks us from living in our purpose. So that is also, yeah, and that is also one of the things that really inspired me to get this book out.
Truth. I have a question for you, Carrie.
Yeah.
How did you find all the individuals that have participated in the writing of this book? I didn't get the memo on that one.
So I put it out on social media for the most part. Terry, I met through the Unbound Press, which published my, I just happen to have them sitting here, Soul Shine and Sensual Soul Shine books. So
Good
that's how I met Terry, through that group. Ashley, I met on TikTok, and she's local. And then other people just like they found me on either LinkedIn or TikTok or Instagram, and they're like, "Hey, somebody told me about this," or
Hmm.
and quite a few people I know personally, but about half of our authors are from Europe and Africa.
Cool.
So yeah, so
Awesome.
I put it out there, and I'm like, "What's meant to be will come," and it happened.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So we have Terry's from Germany. Then we have Siobhan, who is from Ireland, and we have several people from the UK. Jimmy is from Africa, and then of course the rest of us are from the US. So
Awesome.
yeah, it's pretty impressive. It just happened that way.
To me, as I just heard Ashley say her first published piece, this is going to be my second published piece because the book I've been working on for the last 3.5 years still won't be published till next spring. So this will be my second one. The first one was a collaborative book as well with the Unbound Press, Tales from the Unbound Path. So that one came through too as a collaborative book. So aside from blogs and a community newsletter article I did 25 years ago, that's the only published things I've done.
So far.
So far, yeah.
So far.
Well, and the book is going to be published hopefully in March. So yeah. It's the first of many, and I think it's really cool to have something like that, like a blog that I'm put in here that it's not too scary, so to speak.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not scared of the book thing, writing the book, but yeah, to have something that's not as daunting or powerful
Yeah,
from that point.
I agree. Ashley, do you have a book in the back of your mind that you're thinking about?
Always. I love to write. I love to read. I actually write a lot of lectures. That's a lot of what I do on the education side. So writing to speak is a lot of what I do, but I have been working on a book that is educational for entrepreneurs and small business owners about tracking numbers. And I'm not talking just about the financial side, it's more about what's working and what's not, and how to find out what is working in your business and take the emotion out of it. Because a lot of times, as a small business owner and entrepreneur, we tend to feel big emotions and they can be scary. And sometimes they can make you think that you're doing great when maybe you're not doing so great. You might have had a great moment. And then sometimes they can make you feel like you're not doing great. And when you look at the numbers, it's actually showing that you're doing fantastic and that you should keep on track with what that's doing. So that book is more educational and is going to lead into classes where I can talk to entrepreneurs and small business owners about the importance of tracking. I'm kind of a data geek, so I just lean into that and show others how to do that when maybe it's not something they've been taught before.
I love that. I love that. I bet Melissa has a book in her somewhere.
I'm I'm an entrepreneur from hell. I'm 5 companies in. Yeah. If we got stuck in fear, we never get anywhere.
It's true.
I was just thinking about something a little different. Carrie and I were in Morocco together last summer, and after after our journey on our yoga retreat, I had a guide from Morocco, and I just thought about something Shaid said that we started joking the whole time during our 3 days together, that when we would do something similar that I would experience as American and he would experience as a Moroccan, but it was the same thing. We just said, joke, be like, that's universal. That's universal. And this conversation in this book and how you've written it and opening up to people over the world, like, fear is an adjective, and some people experience more of it, some people experience less of it, some people experience a little bit of it, what have you, but it's a universal word.
Mhm.
And I think maybe where I'm seeing and hearing in this moment of time is, for me, it's really important, like humanity and humans across the world realize that we're not separate. We're all humans and we're all part of this. So maybe that's what I feel from this. So yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, that's the whole premise of the Be the Spark movement
Right.
is that, yeah, yeah. I mean, we have a conversation and we realize that, oh, we're all more alike than different. And that's where we get to bring everybody together and let go of some of this, let go of some of the fear around you look different or you speak different or you live differently than I do. And the truth is that we're all just human and we have those basic fundamental needs of love and acceptance and connection and food and water and
Well,
yeah,
there's the next book title right there. We're all just human.
we're all just human, right?
As Oprah said a long time ago, and I don't agree with a lot of stuff she says, but one thing she said was, "We all have to flesh,
This is true too.
and we all bleed red." So those are my two universal mantras.
Yeah, I was just talking to Tony and I was on Instagram and I think it was Mel Robbins had a thing and she was like interviewed this guy and she was so excited and I may get it all wrong. So
Hmm.
I need to go back and like listen to it more fully. But she's like, he has done all this research and he has come to the conclusion that we're all way more alike than different. And I was like,
Yep.
which research did you really have to do? Like,
Duh.
it just is. It
Yeah.
just is. And it's a beautiful thing. It is
Hmm.
a beautiful thing. So, yeah. And when we can meet outside of fear and outside of shame and outside of guilt, um, and start raising the vibration of this world, that's the point. So,
Hmm.
yeah, they're
It's vibration. It all is all about vibration.
Yes.
You have two sides to choose, and that's your choice every day.
Yes. I was also listening to something yesterday, and I wish I had written it down or researched it before I got a chance to be on here. But he was talking about how one person vibrating at a higher level can counteract hundreds of thousands of people vibrating at a lower level. So
Mhm.
just imagine if each of us, if just the people who read this book begin to vibrate at a higher level and frequency of more love and acceptance and connection and joy and peace and freedom,
Yeah,
how we are going to change this world.
true.
Yeah.
That's pretty powerful. Yeah.
So definitely need to research that more. So my goal is, and it may not be next year because I have a couple of books I want to write too, but my goal is to take that emotional vibration chart and start picking it apart and having books in regards to those emotional vibrations. And we all do those collaboratives, and talk about how we work through guilt or how we achieved joy, and just go back and forth with these different emotional vibrations, and create books around those. So that is where this book is the foundation of that goal. And it may take us 20 years to do this, right? And then the other thing I wanted to share with everybody is the reason that I do collaboratives and I love collaboratives so much is because well, not everybody, but many people's voices get heard and stories get told. And that allows so many to be able to relate to several pieces in this book.
Mhm.
I can't tell you how many times I cried reading this book. Just to know how powerful the people are that put their pen to paper and shared their stories, of just heartbreak and hurt and angst, and like it goes on. And you know what? They worked through it and they made a choice to come out on the other side. So I am so proud of this book, guys. I am so proud of each of the authors, and yeah, it is just phenomenal.
Absolutely.
All right, so I'm going to read. I'm going to read the last page. And I give Tony credit for making me write this last page.
Hmm.
Because she's like, you have to have a final thought. And I'm like, oh, do I? So, my final fearless thought, my quote: I do not say you have no right to feel fear, but I do believe no one deserves to live in fear. This is what the universe, I'm going to cry. Okay. This is what the universe handed me on that fateful day in 2019 and demanded I share with the world. It begins with you. It begins with me. Allow fear to no longer embody the humanity in our world so we can live in love, peace, and joy among our fellow humans. Here is where you take that deep breath and exhale. Your journey has just begun. All right.
So, Carrie, I want to do a selfless plug for you.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
So it's my selfless plug. So today is Carrie's birthday.
Yes.
Just putting it out there again. And if anybody on this call, Zoom, Facebook Live, whatever, please just share. Share this like, you know what, she's 55. Share it 5 times today. Just let's get this out as much as possible for all of the authors, but also for Carrie for doing this for everybody because her intentions are so pure. At really just taking so much time and just she is so neurotic about all the little details of it. And I love her for it. I love her for it. At just making sure this is right and that's right. And when I said to her, she was showing me the format for the book and there was someone else that she gave thanks to, for the book. And I said to her, no, you need to have the last word.
Mhm.
And she's like, and I'm like, but Carrie, this really is your brainchild and you're pulling it together and you need to be the one to sign off at the end of this book, and be seen as really the person that pulled this together. So
That's
just
it.
want to send happy birthday love to her and to
Yeah.
everybody part of this book. And excited to see who else is going to be here tonight and just want all of these authors, as you read this, to just take a step back and realize that she put so much into this to help you as well. And have that gratitude for each other for being a part of this.
Yes.
And to Neil too. And no, she's not burning the house down. And that's what I thought too. I did look and I'm going, that's got to be her something,
She
not burning
learned
it down.
something.
Yeah.
Thank
Happy
you, Tony.
birthday.
Oh,
Yep, happy
thank
birthday.
you so much. I so appreciate that.
Happy birthday.
We have to plan a wine date.
Any-
Woohoo. Yep.
Oh, Tony, thank you.
Love you, my dear.
Kind words. Love you too.
Have a
Mwah.
beautiful day, everybody. Congratulations.
Thank you. I do
Bye.
appreciate you. All right. Is there any final words anybody wants to say? No. Well, I just thank you all for being here. It means so much to me. And one last look at this book, The Other Side of Fear.
Came out great.
Yep. Thank you.
To read it.
Thank you. It's
Awesome.
yeah, it's a work of love from everybody. All
Well,
right.
Have a great birthday.
Thank you.
Yep.
Y'all share, and let's get
Right.
this book to number 1.
All right.
One more. Happy birthday.
Happy
Thank
birthday. Thank you.
We
Bye,
love
Ashley.
you all.
Bye,
Mwah.
Sherry. Bye, Neil.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Let's jump us off of live stream.